Where's my timer? Where are you? I hit the macro. Why is it not macroing? Yeah, I've decided the long version of the word macro is macrame.
Macaroni and cheese?
Yes. Why is it not macaroni and cheesing?
All right, you let me know.
I'm ready. Oh, I got it.
I'm going to swallow that down.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there is Brandon.
That's me. Ow.
Ooh, God, you're getting old. You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Instagram and Bluesky at namely90s. You can also find us on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/@namely90s. And if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com and sign up for one of our support levels. What'd you do to yourself?
Okay, so, being the young, spry gentleman I think I am, who hadn't, worked out in 2 weeks, I guess. A week and a half. I play softball once a week, and the week before last, we were rained out. And I guess I didn't do that much physical activity because when this past week came around, I was like, I will play an extra game, cover for someone, no problem. The game after, that should be fine. And then someone an hour later was like, hey, could you play the game before your game? And I was like, yeah, sure. And it kind of worked out that each sequential game would be less strenuous on me, or at least I thought, based on who I was playing against.
Right.
And and then in the first game, I kind of tripped over myself because I got put in the outfield, and I was trying to track a ball that was hit wide and over my head, and there was only 3 outfielders. Usually there's 4 in co-ed old people softball. And so I tripped over myself and landed on my left shoulder, but I didn't feel anything. I felt fine. Played 3 whole games over the course of 4 hours. And then I got home at 10:30, and I went to bed around 2 a.m. I was just by the time I went to bed, both arms were just sore, completely sore. I woke up in the morning, I couldn't raise either arm. And my left arm, this is 3 days out, 2.5 days out. Still don't have full mobility without feeling sore. I gotta overstretch to be able to do something.
That sounds unpleasant.
Yeah, but I hopefully will be ready to go by next Tuesday. And it's we're a couple weeks away from my 35th birthday, and I'm just okay, I am actually starting to feel age here.
It's really a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's and then with my arms this sore, I'm maybe I should start working out again with some frequency, but then my arms being completely dead, I was I can't do that. Yeah, I got some DDR in last night, so
well, I'm coming undone over here with this cold. I've got the deep gravelly voice that I desire to have most of the time, except I'd rather not be sick to have it.
Yeah, I don't even need to put your audio filter on. This is what you sound like without your audio filter on.
No, you just need the filter to take out all the non-PC things I might say during this.
Yeah, that's more of an editing thing. Filter back on. Yeah.
I also realized
you actually sounded sick. We recorded with our friend Scott Murphy on All 90s All Action All the Time, which will be coming out in, he said, September.
Yes, talking about the movie we're not supposed to say yet, are we?
I don't think he said it publicly yet, so we won't say what we did, but you could check that out in September. We'll
I came on, I was like, hello.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
It's like, who's that foxy bum on the other side of that audio?
Just like phlegm accumulating in my chest area.
Can you say Mike Wazowski in that voice?
Mike Wazowski?
But in the voice, your phlegmy voice?
Mike Wazowski.
Okay. The Monsters Inc. Your kids probably haven't seen that yet. Mike Wazowski. Anyway.
Yeah, it was bad. I feel a little bit better today, but basically it's like, it's rough. I definitely suffer from the man cold. I think I've said this before, but oof, geez.
Well, I mean, I was telling you the same thing, like on when I had my first like illness since post quarantine. I was just like, I was dead to the world for 3 days to a week.
Post quarantine, by the way, is the name of a new cereal.
Yeah. Post quarantine crunch. Get all of your sick in a box delivered to your door. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just watching my audio levels. I should tweak this a little bit better. Star Wars Day is on Saturday.
What is that? The May the 4th be with you thing, or is that a little bit?
May the 4th be with you. Yeah. I mean, it's Saturday when they're listening to this, not this coming Saturday. So, for when we were recording, but yeah, Andrew said it. May the 4th be with you, Star Wars nerds.
Yeah. Oh boy. Otherwise, it's just a normal day.
I mean, it's Cinco de Mayo Eve. Cinco de Cuatro.
Yeah.
Which
is
a
special happy birthday to our guest from 2 weeks ago, Kayla.
Yes.
AKA my wife. She'll be turning an age this week.
This week? Why do I think your birthday is?
Well, I guess technically it's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Kayla.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, excuse me. There was something else. I've been escaped by it.
Well, you're violently ill for a few days, so that's fair. Yeah, I mean, not much going on this week. Like, or nothing 90s related going on this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, some of the crimes were happening as early as the 90s, I'm sure.
Fair. And been getting away with it.
Currently, things are happening. See, Harvey Weinstein conviction overturned. Donald Trump is in court.
90s related.
Yeah, Donald Trump is in court to determine whether or not the president is immune to prosecution. No. I don't know that we need a court proceeding for this. No, not immune.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I saw Mia Sorvino had a statement about Weinstein being out, and it was something like, my body is physically unable to accept this as happening.
Yeah. It's quite bad. But what are you going to do, right? Fight it to the death, basically.
Yeah. Retrial and, throw him away in jail again.
But definitely let's focus on whether or not TikTok is going to be banned, right?
Right.
Because that matters.
That's important right now. And like, are they banned?
Honestly, if we get rid of TikTok, that's a lot less pressure on us, because then we don't have to try to utilize it anymore. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like TikTok seems to be the platform right now. So the fact that we're not on it is not a smart move on our part.
I think we should create our own platform called Truth Talk, and we'll just spew conspiracy theories on it.
Yeah.
Because it works in two ways: Truth Talk and Truth Talk.
Yeah. And then, or we do a second app called Tick Truth, which is the counterpoint where it fact checks everything that Truth Talk
Tick Truth
is wrong.
This is good.
Yeah. The coming soon to a social media near you.
Yeah. Well, we can get into the episode, or we can
jump on it.
All right, let's do it.
Why
don't you tell us what was going on during? No, wait. I've gone into a past state.
Yeah, I don't even remember what I used to say. Was it? And this is what happened in September.
I was like, why don't you tell us what was going on back in September 1999?
Okay.
And you're like, let's go back, if you will, to something.
I don't even remember it. That's crazy. I guess it
by
was
the way,
almost 4 years ago.
Yeah, our 4-year anniversary coming up. So if you want to drop us a message, Brandon, tell them how.
Yeah, message us on Instagram or Bluesky or Tick Truth or our socials. I'll send you a link to submit on. Because I definitely need to reach out to our friends that actually should do that for us this weekend, so we have something by recording time. But yeah,
I say we try to make MySpace popular again, by the way, but never mind. We can go into that another time.
Yeah, namely 2000s. Speaking of the 2000s, we're going to talk about something that died in the 2000s and came back in the 2000s. Started in the 90s, though, in 1999.
Yes.
Family Guy. It's the
25th anniversary. Yeah, that's
wild.
Insane, bro.
That is wild. And then Entertainment Weekly had like a article. Was it this week? Last week? 2 weeks ago? Now that you're listening to this, about Patrick Warburton. He was talking about like his mom. Patrick Warburton voices Joe. And other characters. He's also known for like being on Seinfeld and.
He's a well-known actor.
Yeah, you'd recognize him. Not you, the audience would recognize him. But he was talking about how his mother belonged to the American Television Council, which it was like Moms Against America, or Moms Against Profanity.
Moms Against America.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. It was like a censorship council, like, oh, you shouldn't be putting lewd stuff on our television type. Pro-clutchers, that sort of people. You know, the type of people that are burning books right now. And she hated, like, she hated the show. She hated Family Guy because of how crass it was, and she was actively trying to get the show canceled.
It's like you don't. That's clearly they don't get it, and I think like finally enough people get it that it's been able to stay on the air mostly for 25 years.
It's also mellowed.
Yeah, true.
And also, you know, we've declined into a sinful era and modern television.
When the president can say whatever they want, like, how can you censor TV?
Yes, but he's their champion.
Yeah, sure. But I haven't watched a lot of recent Family Guy. I think I stopped watching around season 12 regularly. So I've got a lot to catch up on.
I've seen every episode. I haven't rewatched an episode since probably around that time either. But yeah, another quote from, I realized, because there's a lot of people that could do the Joe voice. I can't do the Joe voice, like the Peter. Like that's all I could do. Hey, Peter. That's not even close.
Hey, pilgrims.
Howdy, pilgrims. So he said, I said, Mom, if you don't think I'm going to talk about this publicly, this is the greatest irony. You're laundering money. You're laundering it to yourself. Because he was, you know, as a good son, making lots of money on television. He was you know, supporting his parents. Which is kind of funny.
Yeah, there's some irony there.
Yeah.
Crazy ass.
I mean, further down in this article, he explains why his parents were kind of like a little conservative. His father was in a monastery for 3 months. He almost became a monk, said Warburton. My mother went around the neighborhood when I was 13 years old, passing out pamphlets on the sins of masturbation, which did not get me into the cool crowd.
My favorite thing, by the way, this is a little bit topical, is I just saw a teaser poster for The Passion of the Christ 2.
Oh, yeah.
Resurrection. But my favorite thing is that Family Guy, I don't know if they're actually doing this, but Family Guy did a joke about The Passion of the Christ 2 starring Chris Tucker and Jim Caviezel.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite bits, probably, that Family Guy's done, and I love that it's actually coming to fruition.
To be fair,
in a form.
That was Passion of the Christ 2, Crucify This. Which was a great little bit. That was
early.
That was, I want to say that was like the season 4 or 5 premiere after they like got canceled and came back. And Peter stumbles across the film in
Crucify This.
Mel Gibson's hotel
May 1st,
room.
2005.
Yeah. And so that was, which season was that?
I don't know.
But yeah, it was they reference the one where he runs away from the plane. Oh, what is that? That's a classic movie. And anyway, that's a great episode. And
they didn't really pull any punches after being canceled. That was my favorite part.
Yes. Well, I mean, that first scene back was like Peter comes in with the piece of paper and he's like, guys, we're canceled, or the letter. He's like, we're canceled. And then I think it's Chris. He asks, is there any chance we could be brought back? And he's like, I don't know, Chris. Maybe if Fox fails on such great shows and then lists off every single show that got canceled between Family Guy and it coming back.
That was great. It was a long list.
I love that Greg the Bunny is in there because that was another Seth Rogen or not Seth Green show.
Seth Green, yeah.
Yeah. Seth Rogen. Jeez. But yeah, also included in our little thing is Entertainment Weekly's best, like they ranked last September, the top 25 episodes of Family Guy. Number 25 is McStroke from season 6, episode 8.
That's a pretty good one. Why aren't we funding this?
I completely disagree. McStroke is one of the worst episodes of Family Guy.
It's only 25 though. That's pretty far down the list.
Out of like 400 episodes or something at this point. Any season 6, like, cause season 6 was the year of the writer's strike. So like McStroke was one of the first episodes that was very apparent that Seth MacFarlane wasn't writing for the show at this point. And they were just like, let's take this random joke and pair it with this random joke and then funny, which is, how people criticize Family Guy.
Well, this is the worst article ever. It's counting down.
Yes. But
it says, but it's counting up the other direction.
Yeah. I think it's like one of those slideshow articles. So they get like extra clicks every time you go to the next page.
I mean, I think I agree with a large portion of this list.
Stewie Loves Lois. That's a fun one. Mama. Foxy Lady, where we find out that
why is it counting in different directions? It's making me crazy.
Fred Savage is actually Rush Limbaugh. I think this is number 22 is one of your favorites, To Love and Die in Dixie.
It's a good one.
Where they go on the run and end up like Peter turns the car into the General Lee. This one I can't say, but it's where Peter finds out that he's
not smart.
Yes. Which is one of my personal favorite episodes, only at 21. The Emmy-winning episode, number 20, not great. I don't think it should be on the list. 19, Lego My Mego. One of the many episodes where Meg either almost ends up like a bride of someone, but ends up doing Taken stuff. Liam Neeson is in it, or not? Sorry, not in it. He's
portrayed.
Yeah. Thin White Line, season 3, episode 1.
It's a good one.
Brian
becomes addicted to cocaine
as a airport security, I think, or no,
police dog.
Yeah. The Dean Apartment 23, another season 16 episode. Apparently, you need to watch season 16, Andrew.
Apparently,
yeah. It's I don't know. I like the pun on the Dean Apartment 23. Yeah. Death is a Bitch, season 2, episode 6. Back when Adam Carolla was worth having on.
I thought that was that Norm Macdonald back then?
That was Norm Macdonald in the first appearance.
Right.
But then Adam Carolla did Death later on. They haven't brought Death back in a while. Probably because Norm Macdonald's dead. And Adam Carolla is Adam Carolla now. Blue Harvest, season 6, episode 1. That's a great one. That's the New Hope Star Wars parody.
I like that
Road to the North Pole. Three Kings, where they did the 3 Stephen King episodes.
That was all right.
I used to quote that one before we started an episode. Peter says his first words to Morgan Freeman in Cleveland. Vagina boob.
Oh yeah. That's your fave.
It was just a good non sequitur. Road to Rhode Island. Yug.
Family Guy spelled backwards.
Still not a great one. Airport 07. That was pretty good.
I did like that one.
Let's see. Meet the Quagmires. I liked that one. A little weird. Back to the Future. You like that's. We had an argument over that one where it was like, oh, Peter's doing the song, the actual song from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes, it's the same song. We were doing different parts of the same song.
Stewie kills Lois kills Stewie, and Stewie kills Lois are the next two.
They're decent.
I mean, that was their 100th episode, 99th and 100th episode. I thought it was pretty good until they did the Dynasty, or is Dynasty? Not Dynasty. Whatever.
The dream sequence,
The dream sequence with the shower. The Simpsons guy, I think, should be ranked under those two, but that was the Simpsons Family Guy crossover. Then there were fewer. That was a good one. That's where they like did the first permadeath on the show, which was the Jewish lady, the
Mark
wife.
Goldman's wife.
Yes, Mark Goldman. Ethel Goldman. She dies. Road to the Multiverse. Yeah, they
were okay.
The Boom. Yeah, I didn't really like that one either, where they're trying to get to the Twinkie factory or whatever. They're mutants. PTV, one of the best.
Yeah. The side boob hour. I love that episode.
Yeah. And then Back to the Pilot is their number one somehow.
I don't think I've seen it.
Season 10, episode 5. It's another like multiverse episode.
It looks stupid.
It is. Yeah. It wasn't my favorite either. I don't know how that's number one.
Well, I don't know if that's number 1 or number 25 now.
Well, I certainly wouldn't put
Mixed Stroke
as number 1. So, yeah, any on the list or any not on the list that you think?
There's no possible way for me to remember all these episodes, like to add more, especially because I've been out of the game for a while. I do need to rewatch it though.
I mean, not all of it. I don't know. There's been like every like 1 in 10 episodes in a new season. I was like, yeah, that was pretty good. But other than that, it's like maybe one joke per episode will be like, okay, I'm just watching this out of habit now.
Yeah.
Family Guy, 25 more years.
Yeah. Good show though. Definitely. I was going to say, controversial, but yet always funny. except when it's not. Anyway,
succinct. Love it.
No, I just feel like it exists to be politically incorrect. You know what I mean? And people are like, it's bad. It's like, yeah, but like it's called satire. Like that's allowed.
Like South Park.
Yeah, South Park is worse. It's just not on a major network. I mean, it's not a major network. It's just not on like network television per se. It's on a cable network. But I also think for me, like Family Guy is a funnier show than South Park.
I mean, there's more jokes per minute. Sure. Over the long haul of both shows, I would say there's a decline in funny on Family Guy.
I just don't find myself like laughing out loud at South Park. I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of funny. That's kind of a good point. But that's not what I'm looking for in a comedy per se.
I guess they're still tied to like divisive satire where Family Guy is like, let's just take big swings and that'll be funny.
Speaking of big swings, let's go to Brandon for the Namely 90s Minute.
Welcome back to Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helped stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of Star Wars Day, we're looking back at another 90s star-related franchise, Stargate. Stargate is a 1994 science fiction action-adventure film starring Snake Plissken from Escape from New York, Ultron from Age of Ultron, Dill from The Crying Game, Korath, the Pursuer from Guardians of the Galaxy, the second live-action Inspector Gadget, and Paul Lassiter from Spin City. The story begins in ancient Egypt where a powerful alien named Ra abducts a child to become his new body. Flash forward to 1928 Giza, where archaeologist Professor Langford and his daughter Catherine discover a large ring and coverstone buried in the sand with hieroglyphs on it. In 1994, Catherine invites Egyptologist Dr. Daniel Jackson to translate the hieroglyphs on the coverstone. The stone and ring is now a part of a U.S. military classified project run by Colonel Jack O'Neill. Jackson manages to translate some coordinates for Stargate that uses constellations to navigate. They reveal the ring to Jackson and input the coordinates on the Stargate and create a stable wormhole. Jackson joins O'Neill's team as they travel to the planet on the other side of the wormhole, where they find the planet Abydos and a bunch of other humans who are descended from the ancient Egyptians. The humans of Abydos are enslaved by their god Ra. Thinking they are emissaries of Ra because of an amulet Catherine gave Jackson, Jackson gets married to the daughter of the chieftain of the local tribe. Ra's ship arrives and lands on the pyramid the Stargate is in, and Ra's team attacks the soldiers stationed at the pyramid. While learning about the tribe, Jackson learns that Ra is an alien who extends his life by inhabiting human bodies. Ra was the one who brought the humans to Abydos to mine ore for alien technology, and while Ra was there, the humans back in Egypt revolted and sealed off Earth's Stargate. Jackson also discovered 6 of the 7 symbols needed to dial the Stargate back to Earth, but is unable to find the 7th. Jackson and O'Neill get captured by Ra, and in a firefight, Jackson dies. Ra places Jackson's body in a sarcophagus that regenerates him. Then Ra tells Jackson about the nuclear device O'Neill brought through the Stargate with him, and that Ra souped it up with alien technology and is going to send it back through the gate to destroy Earth, because he's a petty bitch. Before it can happen, another revolt helps Jackson and O'Neill escape, and after the locals claim victory and draw a symbol on the walls of the pyramid, Jackson realizes it's the 7th symbol needed to dial Earth. O'Neill helps the tribe continue their revolution, but Jackson's new wife dies in the ensuing battle, so Jackson sneaks her onto Ra's ship to revive her. Jackson and his wife get off Ra's ship just as O'Neill sends up the nuke, killing Ra, and the remains of the team travel back to the Earth through the gate, except for Jackson, who stays on Abydos with his new wife. And that's Stargate in a Namely 90s Minute. More or less.
And now back to the show.
All right. We are going to do a little tier list of Family Guy characters, which I've been informed is boring to listen to. So that means Andrew needs to talk more.
Can be just pacing, you know.
Yes, and it won't be as long as our usual tier list because this is Family Guy. Andrew actually knows all of these things.
There are about 9,000 characters on this page.
Yes, there is 44, I think. So let's start with Stewie Griffin.
I mean, obviously S tier.
Yes, absolutely S tier. One of my top 3 characters.
Yeah, he's good.
God is next.
God. Pretty funny, not a main character. I would go like a B tier.
Yeah, he's using some pretty good jokes. There's like the Flash cutaway where it's like, where is God right now? And it's like, Flash, And he's like riding on the Flash Gordon like.
I love that we're ranking God in the B tier.
I know he should be S tier, but like also the like early on joke where like he's hitting on a woman in a bar and he accidentally kills her or something, and he's like, Jesus Christ, and then Jesus shows up next to him and he's like, get the car.
Greased up, hearing impaired guy.
Yes. I don't like him personally.
I think it's dumb. I go D tier.
D tier. Okay. Tom Tucker.
Tom Tucker. I'd go B.
Yeah, I would say B tier. He's driven some plots. I forget who that is. Oh, that's one of these are Meg's friends.
Yeah, Meg's. Like honestly, I don't think they add anything to the show. F.
Okay, both of them.
Yeah, I guess.
Next up is Quagmire.
Who else but Quagmire?
Giggity giggity. Let's have sex.
Let's see.
Problematic.
I'm gonna go like A.
Yeah, I would almost put him at a B, but he's a solid character. The judge who wants the Kool-Aid guy to stop breaking through his wall.
Like D, I guess.
D, yeah.
He doesn't really bring much to that scene.
We have Peter's mom.
C.
C?
Like,
she's above the judge?
Yeah, just a bit. Slightly.
Okay.
She's kind of annoying, though.
Next up, we have one of the overused gags, wacky waving inflatable tube-man sales guy.
I think it's Al Harrington.
Harrington.
Come on down to Al Harrington's wacky waving inflatable arm shilling tube-man emporium and warehouse. That's what he says.
Yeah, outside of Wickapa.
I just think because I like the joke so much, I kind of want to put him up in like the A to B area.
I was thinking A tier, if not S. But he's too overused, so back to A. I would say A. Meg. Should we put her with her friends?
Shut up, Meg.
Yeah.
I would give her like a, I don't know.
I love Mila Kunis. She does a great job in this role. Lacey Chabert also is.
I did until she defended the rapist.
Yeah, that's fair.
B. B for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. When it's like, sometimes when it's a Meg story, I'm like, it's a Meg story. But sometimes when it's a Meg story, I'm like, okay, this could be interesting. Lois's mother.
D.
Okay. Well, if Peter's mom's at C.
Okay, fine. C.
Or we can move. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. She doesn't really add anything. Her dad's the one that like does things. D tier.
Yeah.
That's Bertram?
Yeah.
Bertram.
F, boring.
Okay.
Don't like.
I liked the one episode where they do Star Wars, but in Peter's sperm.
Joe's wife?
Yeah, Bonnie Swanson.
C at best. She's annoying.
Yeah, and like she cheats on Joe at one point. Kind of messed up. We have, I don't remember.
His name's Toby?
I guess so. He's the guy that kind of talks like that. Oh no.
I think just for the oh no, I could put him on B tier because it's kind of oh no.
Yeah, I was gonna put him on C, but let's do B. Lois's dad, Peter Schmidt, Mr. Peter Schmidt. I don't remember his name.
Yeah.
C tier.
C. Yeah.
He does get some good looks in on Peter though. We have the old bartender Horace.
Yeah, I think that's right. D.
He's dead. D for dead. We have I want to say it was either James Gandolfini or someone. It was the dog that took over for Brian, or one of the dogs that took over for Brian when he died.
I could take it or leave it.
Yeah, it was kind of F tier. We have Cleveland Jr., but the newer version where he's super fat from the Cleveland show.
F. I don't even really know that character because I haven't watched the show recently enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't really do anything on Family Guy. Cleveland Brown. My name is Cleveland Brown.
A
tier with the Quags.
Yeah.
And then we have what is the housekeeper?
I forget her name.
It's Consuela.
I would go B tier.
B tier, yeah, she gets some good jokes in.
The well never really runs dry.
no, Mr.
No.
Superman, he not here. We have Death, who we mentioned, Norm Macdonald and Adam Carolla.
Just the scene where the lady says, "You can't hug your children with nuclear arms," and he just immediately kills her. To me, I think about that a lot. That's an A tier at least.
Oh, that was an S tier for you? That was A tier?
Okay, I'll go S. All right.
Like, I think anytime Death is in the show, it's pretty good. Also, he spent the entire episode trying to date that girl, and then she says that, and she just kills him or her immediately. Mm-hmm. He just kills her immediately. Joe Swanson. Peter.
Honestly, I feel like A.
Okay. We have the other news anchor who kills Ethel.
Maybe like D.
Okay.
I don't think she's that integral.
Yeah, I mean, I guess she goes to jail for killing people, I think. I don't know. We have the Jesse, which is the old dog with the two legs that don't work. Jesse?
I'd give maybe a C. It's a little bit funny.
We have Tom Tucker's son, who has an upside down head.
Yeah, I mean, hard to rank because he's only in like 1 or 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, he's a recurring gag. I would say D.
All right.
Okay, we have Loretta Brown, Cleveland's new wife.
I don't really know that character.
Cleveland's old wife. No, yeah, Cleveland's new wife. Yeah, we'll put in her an F. We have the evil monkey that lives in Chris's closet.
D. Dumb joke. And
okay.
Overused.
Okay. We have Rupert, Stewie's bear.
B maybe for me.
All right.
There's some funny storylines with him.
Yeah. We have
the 2 European guys.
that don't.
I'm going to university next year.
Yeah.
He spent 2 or 3 days in hospital.
That's a good recurring joke. B tier?
B, okay.
I mean, I would say A, but then in later seasons they do get overused, and it's like, ugh, these guys again. Speaking of these guys again, chicken fight guy. Giant chicken.
C maybe.
Yeah, like I liked the giant chicken fights, but then Family Guy kept going for 20 more seasons.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Herbert is his name, the old guy the pedo guy that creeps on Chris.
I don't love that joke too much. D maybe.
Fair, that's fair. We have Chris Griffin.
What are you thinking?
He's not my favorite character. He's not better than Meg. Is he on the same par as Meg? ?
Yeah, I could go with that.
Okay. Which is B tier. We have Neil Goldman.
He's annoying.
Yeah. D or F?
F.
We have that's Brian's girlfriend, played by Drew Barrymore, I think.
She was pretty funny.
No, that's the hot girl from Meg's class that picks on her all the time.
Whatever. F.
We have. He's the guy that won. He goes. I don't remember his name, but he wins Employee of the Month over Peter. That's Cleveland's dad.
No,
or sorry,
Quagmire's
Or yes, Quagmire's mom.
Trans
mother.
Yeah. I found it really dumb.
D for dumb.
D. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice moment in that episode, and then it keeps coming back. And to the point where in a more recent episode, he sleeps with her.
Yeah. Peter's old boss, Angela.
Mm-hmm. Who I hate, but voiced by Carrie Fisher.
I'll go B, maybe.
Okay.
She was funny in the episode. Peter, you blew up a children's hospital.
Yes. We got Brian.
Hey, it's got to be S tier for Brian.
S tier. We have Mort Goldman. Kind of
B.
B? Oh, wow. I would have ranked him lower.
Let's go a little lower because all of the jokes are really offensive.
Okay, so C with Mort Goldman.
Yeah.
We have Brian's son.
F.
Yeah, that wasn't a good storyline. We have Peter Griffin.
S tier.
Controversial take. A tier for me, but let's put him on S. We have what is it? Lord
Bottom Tooth or
Underbite or something. Yeah, it's the guy with the big underbite.
Like D. It was funny when he poured the drink into his lower jaw.
True. We have James Woods.
I always liked James Woods for some reason.
He was a great villain.
I got A.
A bordering on S, I would say.
Yeah.
We have Brian's gay cousin who lives in Hollywood. I can't remember his name.
C?
I want to say
kind of
Pietro.
funny.
C. We have the new owner of the Drunken Clam. Don't remember his name.
Don't guess. Let's put him at B. I think some of his storylines are pretty funny.
Yeah. This is Brian's girlfriend, played by Drew Barrymore.
Honestly, kind of up to maybe A. Her jokes are pretty funny.
Yeah. And the delivery is great. Drew Barrymore. I don't know who this. Oh, that's Joe Swanton's son, who was dead originally, and then he comes back, and then it might not even be his son.
I couldn't care less. That's F tier.
Okay, a lot of like Friends kids in the F tier.
Yeah,
we have Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah, that's one of my first memories of Family Guy. At least A. Yeah,
A tier. Overused by the end. We have Lois. Pina.
I'm gonna go probably A.
Okay. We have Loretta Brown, who is I'm pretty sure his first wife was Loretta.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any strong preference.
She was kind of like just a caricature to be like the nagging wife. So F tier. We have the quartet. The You've Got her full-blown AIDS quartet.
I mean, I would go maybe B just because like that's the only one where they use them again, but it's not as good.
We eventually learned that one of them or after Stewie shoots them both, and then we learned that one of them goes to hell because the piano player was a pedophile.
Oh dear.
We have Mr. Glick,
who was like Peter's boss at the toy factory.
Yes,
I didn't like him at all.
So F tier.
Yeah.
We have Muriel Gold. I guess I kept saying Ethel. It's Muriel Gold.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Mort's wife.
I don't think she does anything for the series.
They killed her off. F tier. We have Peter's dad, who's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I go F.
Okay. We have Stewie's rival. I want to say Susie.
Is it Olivia something?
Olivia, yes. The only thing I can remember now is I have the GIF saved of wish I could say in chat, but you're a total bitch, is what Stewie says.
Maybe D tier. I don't.
I liked her first story.
All right.
First two stories.
I'll let you have C.
C. Okay. And then the third of Meg's friends with the glasses.
Right into
the red hair. Okay. We have the high school principal, who is also really kind of creepy.
Maybe D, because he has a few jokes.
Okay. We have Jesus Christ, superstar.
A.
That's above God.
But he has more screen time, but his jokes don't always hit. So for me, that's like an A.
He is the star of Passion of the Christ 2, Crucified. I believe this is the director that was directing Stewie and Olivia when they were like trying to be stars in her second episode.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Peggy Pete. I don't remember his name. Seamus with the 4 wooden limbs. Charitable D.
C at best.
Okay. Then let's land on D. We have Mayor Adam Wee.
That's an S, no question.
Yeah. We have Joe's baby Susie, I want to say.
All right.
F. And with the rest of the kids. She had one good episode. We have H. John Benjamin's character, who works at the convenience store and talks to Chris all the time about like movies with like boobs and stuff.
Maybe like C really or cool. D.
Yeah, I'll give him C. And then we're ending on Trisha Takanawa.
B.
You know who they didn't have on here? The weatherman. It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain. Yeah, what's his name?
Willie?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm putting her in B because some of the news bits she does are kind of funny.
Yeah. And that's our tier list, everyone. If I wasn't lazy, you saw this at naming90s.com/YouTube.
Our S tier, no diversity. It's all white men. Well, actually, one of them's a baby, one of them's a dog, and one of them is not a person. He's a skeleton. And then one of them's Adams West.
Yeah. One of them's not well. A tier is kind of not bad. C tier is like weird. F tier is unfortunate.
Yeah, F tier. Don't even bother.
Yeah. That's our Family Guy episode. Anything else you want to say? You're a phony. You're a big fat phony.
Oh, that's so stupid. I have generally positive memories of the show. I reference it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I get the impression the quality has gone down a bit.
It's not great.
But I do need to still re-watch and sort of catch up. And I will.
And yeah, I mean, I those first 4 or 5 seasons are, you know, when everyone's like, those first 10 seasons of The Simpsons, spot on. First 12, 14 seasons of The Simpsons, spot on. After the writer's strike in season 6, it never really, like, there are some good season 7
the first season is it's distracting. The animation is distracting.
That's fair. I can see why that would do that to you, but there are some good episodes in there. Lacey Chabert is not bad as Meg, but Mila Kunis really took it to a better level. Family Guy. And that's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Instagram, Bluesky, and YouTube at Namely 90s with 90s, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Namely90s, also the 90s. And finally, you can contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Big Fat Phony, Deezer, TuneIn, iHeart, Good Pods, and wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm Brandon. That's Andrew, and we'll catch you next time.
I swear that was supposed to be Food Fight.